I played Widow and Tracer.
Okay.
Those were like my two mains.
So you were annoying, is what you were saying. You were the two
annoying.
annoying characters.
I was annoying, but I was pretty good. Oh no. Whoa, that gets actually pretty hard.
I'm gonna assume this is nothing like the real thing.
This is definitely nothing like the real thing.
Welcome to another episode of Star Players. Today I am joined by Zedd, the Grammy award-winning producer with multiple multi-platinum hits under his belt, who frequently plays to sold-out crowds around the world. He's just released a brand new album, Tell Us, but we will talk a little bit about that later, because right now we've got to talk about something that's important to both of our hearts. Video games.
Yep.
What's the first game you remember playing?
The first game I remember playing, and I barely even remember the actual game, was Alex Kidd. And I'm pretty sure it was preloaded onto the Sega we had. I grew up in Germany, so I'm not exactly sure if it's the same name of the system as it is here, but I just remember being so sucked into finishing a video game, and it immediately captured me. And then it was Sonic. That was a game I just played over and over, and I also really loved the music. I got captured really early, and even throughout my entire life when I was in a band, when everybody else was practicing their instruments, I was practicing my gaming skills instead.
So you started off with, like colorful platformers, but then you found Counter-Strike, which seems like a very different kind of game. How did you discover Counter-Strike?
Bomb has been planted.
I don't exactly know how I discovered Counter-Strike, but I remember that was my first proper introduction into like multiplayer games. And that feeling of playing with a team and having strategy and not just being by yourself, because my beginning of gaming was all by myself, all solo games. And I think I really got into that. The community aspect of gaming and the competitive side of me, because I am a generally very competitive person, like even against myself. I like super difficult games. I love to beat a high score. So I think that competitive side of me I discovered that in me when Counter-Strike came out, well, not when it came out, but when I started playing Counter-Strike Source. So most people start with 1.6, but 1.6, I was on Source, and I played that for far too many hours. I was part of a team, and I would drive to a LAN, my parents would drop me off with my computer, a sleeping bag, and a 6-pack of Red Bull, and you would basically just play all day, and I would sleep for an hour maybe. The way it sort of ended for me is I also obviously was making music on the side. I was in a band back then, and I was responsible for our electronic bits. So MIDI programming, yada, yada, yada. And I wanted to be able to game on the road as well. So I bought what at the time was the best laptop that you could buy. And I was like, okay, I could game while I'm gone and make music on this, perfect. And I bought it, and I literally had 50 FPS playing Counter-Strike. I tried it out, and it was all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
if I can't be the best, I'm never playing it again. I sold my computer, and I focused on music. Full circle, now we're here talking about video games, but that was sort of the moment when I was like, okay, if I can't have my FPS, I'm not gonna be playing any of it.
So did you take a break from gaming at that point?
Yeah, I took a proper break. I sold my PC, so I really didn't have an option of gaming or not, and I really focused on music.
Paid off.
Yeah, sort of paid off. My career coincidentally kind of exploded just after that. And so I started touring and started making my albums and working for all these other artists. And I didn't have a place. I didn't live anywhere. When I worked for Lady Gaga, she gave me an apartment for 4 months, so that was my home. And then I would stay at a different hotel every night, and just along the coast of Santa Monica, my label would just put me up in different places. I didn't have a home. And when I have an apartment, it was a tiny apartment. There really wasn't any place for gaming. It was literally just a bed, and I had one suitcase, and that's all I had. And then in 2015, I bought my first house. So it was okay, now I feel like I have a place. And it started with PlayStation.
Which one?
This was PlayStation 4, I'm pretty sure. And for my birthday, my brother and my engineer built me this gaming rig, which was a box with 4 PlayStation 4s and 4 monitors that are all connected, and 4 controllers and a charging thing. And it was a whole thing. It was honestly brilliant. And the idea was you can roll it out and play Overwatch with 4 people, because that was the game that got me back in. So we were all playing Overwatch, and we would bring this thing with us I did a Vegas staycation. I'm in Vegas all the time.
Yeah.
but we rented this awesome Airbnb and we show up and they're like, so we gotta talk to you about parties. Like, nope, no more than 8. It's like, we're here to game.
Yeah.
We're not
You
here
don't have to
party.
worry about us.
And we literally just sat there and gamed all day.
What was it about Overwatch that got you back in?
Okay, so Overwatch has that little bit, not little bit, but the team play that I loved about Counter-Strike.
I was gonna say, if you play it properly, Overwatch is about team.
Oh yeah.
If
I mean,
you
it's all
are the
about
type of
team
person who just like steals kills, then maybe it's not about team.
I'm not like a solo player, and I've always enjoyed playing with friends, and we all sort of decided this is gonna be the game we play. We played it for years, and all of us sort of had their own roles. I was DPS, that was like my role.
I was gonna say, who did you main? Was it Soldier?
No. Soldier, no.
I know, I was trying to go
No,
through
I played Widow and
damn,
Tracer.
okay.
Those were like my 2 mains.
So you were annoying, is what you were saying. You were the
was
two annoying characters.
I was annoying, but I was pretty good. And we had friends that were only healers. There's friends that were only tanks. And then we played.
I was tank and heal.
You were tank?
Tank and heal.
Okay.
Diva
all right.
and Moira.
I mean, every once in a while we would swap,
Yeah.
but everybody kind of had their roles. And then we played Overwatch for many years, for very many hours. Got pretty high in the ranks, and then Valorant came out. I remember playing like, I didn't even know if it was the alpha yet, but I heard about it. It wasn't called Valorant yet, and I reached out and was like, I would love to try it. Valorant gave me that Counter-Strike feeling back, and I haven't had a PC to play a game like Counter-Strike since. So all my friends and I were like, all right, we're gonna switch, and we switched to Valorant. We're still playing Valorant when we're at home every night, a couple games, usually 3 games a night. It's what the doctor prescribed.
How long is a Valorant game, roughly?
30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on how good the teams are.
Because I never tried. I always got intimidated by Valorant.
Don't be. Give it a try. It's not as hard as it seems, but what I love about Valorant compared to Overwatch is that every single thing matters. One bullet is the difference between winning and losing, and I do love the clutches. You can 1v5. In Overwatch, sometimes I felt like when my teammates weren't doing their part, like if a tank doesn't take space, there's really only so much you can do. And if you're a little Genji and you're alone, you're not gonna kill a whole team. And I like that you had more weight behind you in Valorant.
Because you also had a collaboration with Valorant. How did that come about?
Just from my passion. I just love the game so much, and same thing, I reached out because I really wanted to. I've never done a skin, or I've never did sound design for a video game. I've always wanted to, and video games are so influential to my life. Beyond the gaming part, like the music of things. Without music in certain games, I would have probably never been exposed to certain genres, and I probably wouldn't be sitting here. But this was the first time that I got to work with a development team and like go behind the scenes of everything that it takes to make a skin line. And it's crazy how long it takes. I mean, it took us about 9 months to do that one skin line. So many meetings, and it was amazing to see how inspired the devs were. Like that was the most amazing thing for me to see. Everybody was so into what we were doing. We set ourselves a checklist of what we wanted to achieve with our skin line. And we like doubled what we ended up putting out by the time we were done with it, because everybody was so engaged and came up with new ideas, and that spawned new ideas. And like everybody put in double the hours that we were planning to put into it. And I love the fact that hopefully for forever, when I have my skin line, it's like I put that into the game and it's there forever. It feels awesome.
Would you ever like score a game or do more things
That's
like that?
honestly on my like dream list of things to do. Like I come from classical music, and I feel like I have quite a bit to offer in the scoring world. I just think that I haven't explored that as much yet, but I would love to score an entire video game. Like when you think about Halo, like the impact at least it had on me. I was in Tulum in this hotel, and you go down these stairs and it's like a literal cave with a little pool inside. And so the first thing when I'm in this cave, I'm like, because that's the first thing I would think about doing is singing the Halo theme there. I would love to create something that is so like generational and like some sort of theme that people just sing for the rest of their lives. That'd be awesome. So if you're a video game developer and you want somebody to write your score.
Do you have a particular kind of game that you would like to score, or is it just whatever?
I would be so open to everything. Obviously, I'm really into competitive shooters personally, but I feel like there's more to explore in maybe like a Final Fantasy type game or Elden Ring type game. I wouldn't discriminate. Every kind of game could be a good game to score.
You mentioned earlier that you like challenging games. You mentioned Elden Ring there.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of From Software?
I love these challenging nail biters where you're so mad at the game, but then you figure it out And once you figure out the mechanics behind a boss, you're like, oh, this is actually kind of simple. Do
you ever watch like challenge runs or speed runs?
I'm obsessed with summoning salt. I don't know if you've ever heard
Yes,
of it.
like the history of Rainbow Road stuff, yeah.
I watch all their videos or his videos. I have this is like a thing a lot of people don't know about me, but I'm obsessed with watching speedrun videos.
Me too.
It's like, I don't know what it is about it, and I tell everybody about it, and I feel like I can't really get anyone behind watching that stuff, but you will watch me like on a plane watching the history of like Tetris speedrun or something like that. Because it's also so hyper competitive.
Yes.
And to shave off a frame of a Super Mario run,
fraction of a second, just seeing people climb those leaderboards.
Oh, I love it. I love perfection. There's no perfection, but I work the same way when we time code a show and you have to move things by frames and like making each frame of each light turn on, like how long does it take to turn the light on and off? And I love getting so close to perfect. So when I watch these videos, I kind of can see myself in another world, in another life.
You could have been
some other, I might be a speedrunner.
What game would you run?
I definitely wouldn't be running around naked in Elden Ring trying to beat it without getting hit, that's for sure.
That's
psychotic.
Yeah.
And like the most level of respect I have for anything humans have done besides creating Baby Bell and Oreo McFlurries, which are like amongst the greatest things anyone's ever made. But I have a huge amount of respect. That's the hardest thing in gaming, I think, amongst it. But I would be more so like a Mario Kart speedrunner, something that is bite-sized enough where I know you can technically be better or like I don't know what exactly I would be speedrunning, but something that is small enough to where you can just focus on one thing and then take that record and then piss off.
To get back to music, I know that you credit a game with kind of expanding your musical horizons. I wanted to ask you a little bit about your relationship with Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Gran Turismo, besides being an awesome game and also a challenging game.
I never got that license, like beyond.
No, that's the best part. The licenses are the best part.
I know,
but you can tell this is like why I'm into these kinds of games. I started
it's perfection
early.
too.
Yeah, you have to perfect a route, and I like that about games. But the music selection in Gran Turismo specifically, and the menu music, not to discriminate that part, is so good. Feeder was a band that I remember discovering through Gran Turismo. And I was never into that kind of rock music before. Like I grew up with classical music, jazz, and like the Genesis and Yes and Deep Purples of the world, but that kind of grunge rock that Feeder would make, I didn't like it. And then I heard Feeder and it was connected to these victory moments in the game. And I think that made me love it, I think, because I don't know why else I would love it. And I became a gigantic Feeder fan. I bought every album. I went on the hunt for like bootlegs. This is like,
wow.
Back in the day, you would have to go to like a vinyl store and see if they have any connections to find like a burned bootleg from a Live in Japan thing. I went really deep down the rabbit hole because like Feeder was like my favorite band.
Gaming music is so important to, I think anyone who picks up a controller or a keyboard and mouse, like you have
Truly.
those songs. You mentioned the Halo soundtrack there. Any other ones that you would put in a DJ set? Any other?
Oh yeah, Zelda.
Oh yeah?
I made a
you
new
did?
version of Zelda because it's like one of the greatest compositions of all time. It's brilliant, and I wanted to be able to play it out live, so I made my own version of it. Amongst others, Super Mario. I mean, can't forget about it.
But obviously there are video games that utilize music in different ways. We've got things like Guitar Hero. Rocksmith even teaches you how to play guitar. Mm-hmm. But as a DJ and music producer, how do you feel about DJ Hero?
I have no idea, I've never tried it.
Hi, kids.
Part of me wants to just go into it completely, but let's do this, let's see it.
Whichever one you're comfortable with, to be honest.
Let's just see what this is.
Do you want to just go to the Daft Punk song? Or
Let's send it.
I kind of like don't want to ask you questions during this.
You can, just,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm gonna assume this is nothing like the real thing.
This is definitely nothing like the real thing. I'm generally not a scratcher. Like, I don't scratch. Oh, I already f***ed up.
You're good. See?
Okay, we're back. Yeah, I don't actually know how to scratch. All right.
Oh, you can do that. If that little like arch comes up.
What does that mean?
You don't have to. There's something called a euphoria bar. Is that the true? And you go off the euphoria of the crowd?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they have made a game mechanic of that.
And how do you engage the euphoria?
So next time when there's like an orange bar above it, you fiddle with that little
Oh,
thing.
okay. Do you think I have a future in DJing?
I think you could do okay.
You know what? I'm actually into this game.
You could take that home with you if you want. Can't take the Xbox, but you could take the DJ Hero.
I can't believe we have a 360 here, by the way. Just for like, I haven't seen that thing in so long.
Did you keep your old consoles? Oh no, you sold
No.
you sold your old laptop, but
No, I don't keep the memorabilia style.
yeah.
Oh, fader, you're right. Hey, this
Oh,
is
is that what that's called?
This is what no, sorry, that's a knob. My bad. Now I got it. This.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, incredible.
I believe the knob is the technical term.
Oh no. Whoa, that gets actually pretty hard.
And then you get like crowd prompts.
Who's the crowd?
Me. It's me just going, yeah.
Okay, this is.
And
Am I using the wrong button?
I think when that comes up, if you smack the red
I also have to
button-
say that doing an interview while playing DJ Hero is substantially harder than doing a regular interview.
That's why I said I didn't know if I wanted to ask you stuff, but you're doing great.
I like the challenge. I like the challenge.
Frame perfect. There you go, you gotta hit me. I heard that.
Oh. Wow, this is harder than I assumed, I'm not gonna lie. And this is just medium?
I gave you the out. I said you could do easy, but
No, easy
you're
not.
the perfectionist gamer. You're doing great.
When you play a new game that you've never played before,
Oh, that's why I
play on
practiced
easy?
No, I play on medium.
See, you're a real gamer too. All right, that wasn't too bad.
That was great.
That was a collaboration. Thank you for twisting my knobs.
You're welcome. So, comparing to the real thing, are any of these legit?
No.
Any knobs?
No.
Not the Xbox
most
home button?
The Xbox home button. Well, I usually hide a controller right here that nobody in the crowd can see so I can play while I'm DJing.
Yeah.
No, I wish. This is the most real thing. This actually feels pretty real. The real one has a little bit more resistance. Now we have nothing on it. This is real. This actually feels very real, besides that this is nearly better than the real thing because it actually snaps in the center and mine doesn't.
Oh,
Pioneer.
interesting. So basically, Pioneer,
This
calling
is-
them out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would like this to be an option to actually snap in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm also one of very few DJs who uses this because most people just use the knobs.
Yeah.
I use a crossfader still. Maybe correlation to me still playing inverted. I'm like the last man standing that does this.
Good, upholding traditions.
I don't know what this is. Fader? We definitely have tons of those.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What?
I
Knob.
keep saying fader. but I
Knob.
mean knob. My bad. So yeah, it sort of has a little bit of resemblance.
That's pretty good.
I would love to see the best DJ Hero player
In the
on
world.
stage.
A challenge.
I'd
A
love to see it.
face-off.
I would love
A face-off between you
back
and
to
them.
back.
That'd be great. I'd be down.
Are you the best one? Because you said
Could
I'd
be.
be down.
Oh, I mean, I'd be down to watch. I'd just be like, yeah,
I think
approving
you
for.
just applied for that back to back.
Let's talk a little bit about your new album. So it's out right now.
Yeah.
You've had a little bit of a gap in releasing albums, obviously. A
little bit.
Global pandemic, etc. But what is it about Tell Us that kind of like you're the most excited about?
I think what makes me so excited to share Tell Us with the world is the fact that I made an album that I didn't think I could make. I really wanted to make an album that makes me feel the same way that albums made me feel back in the day when I heard them. Like Silverchair, Diorama, one of the most influential albums. Muse, absolutely. I mean,
I was gonna say you've got Muse on there, which
know,
I was
I mean,
very excited about.
like the biggest honor in life. But those albums really did something to me and they made me want to get really good at my craft and create an album that is a story and not just random songs placed together. And I had many years of doubt that I could follow up Clarity in True Colors and create something that I will sit down and say is better than what I've ever done. And it almost took me a decade to, I guess, to feel like the first time again, which is when you make your first album, everything feels exciting and then it becomes hard and then becomes a challenge and it becomes work. And when it becomes work, it's not the real reason you made music to begin with, right? So it took me nearly a decade to forget about how it felt to make an album and be able to create something that I'm genuinely so passionate about and that I love so much.
Well, I've been listening to it. They sent me a link to it, so we're recording this technically before it's out, but I've been listening to a sneaky link and it's great. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Skip mix, okay.
Oh, well, did you want to do that one?
Oh, I don't know what
I
that
thought you wanted
means.
the Daft Punk one.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Anything's fine. We
I'm
can just,
taking the Daft Punk one.
okay, cool.
Okay.
Medium.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, let's not do easy.
Okay.
Medium feels right.
And then I think we can skip straight to
To this song?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I believe in you.